as we watch game after game. He got better throughout the weekend. He set records with the amount of kills. That man is incredible at video games, and he's also incredible at Valorant. But we joined this one, and it's already 1-0 as we're on board with DrLupo. He's going to be playing Breach now instead of Omen, just trying to get some information and flash through walls so that he can push out a little bit further, as we're now on Bind instead of Haven. So just the 2 bomb sites here to plant the spike.
I loved watching Haven for the time that we had an opportunity to do so, because it's such a unique map. The teleporters on this one are great, don't get me wrong. It's fun to use. It's instant rotation for you and your team. It's great. But there's something about 3 bomb sites that just, in a game like this, it's just fun. It's different, right? We never really had it before. I like seeing more. Oh, look at the bouncing there from Dizzy. He was trying to just bounce his way out of that one. Unfortunately, they just got shredded as they charged on through to A short. Last player is going to be there. Stranded. It's Ace. Goodbye. Ace, you cannot stay alive. That's the flawless for them. And yeah, that was a good round. At round number 2, by the way, because yes, you're right. They did win that first round as we jumped midway into that one. You know what, man? The more I'm seeing it, Dan, the more I'm playing Breach. It's happening. I'm playing Breach because I just like the idea of being able to flash through a wall. That just seems so useful.
Yeah, he's very strong, and I feel like his abilities are harder to avoid than some of the other agents that are possible to use as well, and those that have other flash abilities. For example, I think Phoenix's, you get you get a small amount of time where you can turn away. With Omens as well, it's not as strong a flash, so I think Breach is going to be a very powerful agent that we're going to see many people use. Just to touch on teleporters as well, and something that I haven't really mentioned, you talk about defensively how you can use them to rotate, but something I saw during the alpha was people using them offensively, running towards B, getting to a point where they force the rotation from their opposition, and then suddenly all of them diving through the teleporter and instead pushing A with the spike instead. So going for that double fake, as Lupo will pick out Timthetatman. Tim didn't check his corners, didn't check his angles, and Lupo took advantage of it.
Yeah, a lot of players like to hang out in the corner to the left here of DrLupo. It's a kind of common area. That dark, what was that called again? I'm sorry. The dark cover is thrown down, allowing Lupo to pick up that orb. Once again, to kind of recap, the orbs that you see there are in exposed areas in the map, and they allow you to be able to get 1 tick further toward your ultimate ability. You get that every single round. You get a tick. You also get a tick for kills, and you get a tick by picking up one of those neutral orbs. It can be the difference between winning and losing a round, depending on the character that you're playing. A very, very useful mechanic to keep in mind. Summit is going to get picked off, though, by Dizzy. There goes the flash now. Once again, seeing if someone's going to be around the corner. And I believe we're going to have one individual there as well. Cloakzy. He gets picked. That's going to leave this site to be pretty exposed here, Dan.
A little bit exposed, but Lupo's got decent position.
Woo.
And that was a challenge from Dizzy. That's the confidence from someone with incredible aim, but of course there is always a thing in some of these shooters called Peeker's advantage, where you might see someone before they see you, with the way that the game is like netcoded and whatnot. From what I've gathered, Riot have tried to eliminate that factor as best as possible, and they've tried to make it so you will see the other person the same time they see you, just as you would in real life, or at least as close to it. But DrLupo was holding the angle there. He knew exactly where Dizzy was going to be, and he's able to get the kill. And they go 3-0 up here, and it's a good time to really talk about Breach, because he is one of the characters and one of the agents that we maybe didn't know as much about going into the alpha. His aftershock ability it's like a fusion charge. You fire it and it's like a slow burst that goes through the wall, and that burst can do heavy damage to anyone who might be in the way of it. So you can damage an opponent through a wall before they've even pushed you. And I'd say a lot of his abilities and his utility is about kind of slowing opponents, doing a little bit of damage here or there, and he's more of a support character rather than your kind of, I'm going to push in and I'm going to be aggressive.
Yeah, you can play a lot of these characters in different ways as well, which is really fun. Because while some may look at someone like Sage and say, oh, you are 100% a defensive character, that's where you're going to thrive, you may struggle on offense. That's not necessarily true, because Sage has a lot of utility that you can take advantage of to give you high ground, to heal teammates, the resurrection, even the slow once you retake a site, because that's what Sage is really good at doing. Some characters just lock down. sights, plain and simple, and it just can be the difference for your squad in that round, depending, and it could, you know, shift the pendulum in your favor.
Does almost have the charge on his ultimate, on his Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder is an ult that you can fire through the wall again, like he has been with his other abilities, but it will stun and knock up opponents that are in its way. So if you are stood in the way of that, you are going to struggle and you're going to be dazed for quite some time. So it's a fantastic way to push onto a site. If you tell your teammates, you say, I'm about to use my Rolling Thunder, they wait. As soon as that Rolling Thunder has been activated, that's when you push onto the site, and you're probably going to walk into a lot of sitting ducks, and it should be some pretty comfortable kills.
When we had our opportunity to talk to Riot about what their vision was for the game and everything, you know, there was just one particular thing that I really liked was how they identified the roles. Because, you know, when you play a game like CS, for example, and you dive into it for the first time, maybe a little unaware, right? Like I recently just started picking up Counter-Strike more frequently. I watched it at the professional level all the time because, you know, I just enjoyed the game as an esport. But I started playing it a little bit more, but I never really got comfortable in the role that I was playing for my team. But this game kind of, I don't want to say it locks you. It's like more of a soft lock, if you will, where each individual agent has something that can really help out. For example, the way it was categorized was, you know, you have characters that are like controllers. Their whole thing is that they shape the way that the battlefield is going to play. Then you have other characters that they've deemed sentinels. These are very defensive characters that reinforce territory. So as you play the game, you'll learn more about it. And Tim gets that kill there with the orbital strike. Very well done, as he dropped that one right down. And then just to continue on, you have the initiators, your entry fraggers, your duelists, and the roles are, again, they're not like 100% locked in. You determine what that is with how you play the game. But it's nice that they thought about how roles, which is something that League of Legends has, can play a factor into a game like this.
It's a 1v2, now a 1v1. Aceu takes down Summit. He does have the advantage in that he has to be pushed here. He doesn't necessarily have to peek his opponent. He can wait, but of course he's checking both sides to see where his opponent's going to be pushing from. It is an Omen, so Omen can teleport, but the teleport doesn't come through, and Hiko gets taken down by Aceu, and that's going to be the clutch for him. Something very satisfying about playing Valorant, and when you get that clutch and the game just shouts out clutch, and like everyone else just knows that you've done something a little bit different. It's good to get a little bit of a pat on the back from the game.
Oh yeah, back in the day when you played Unreal Tournament, you know, and you got double kill, you know, or Halo as well, right?
Exactly.
Like, love those, man. Yeah, there's little things just to identify to everyone in the server that I'm better than them. There's always a plus.
Yeah, it happens rarely for you, but when it does...
I knew you were going to do that, bro. I knew you were going to do that.
You tried to get there before me, but no, I got there quickly. So Tim's sitting here by the teleporter door. So we've spoken a lot about the teleporters, but just in case you didn't know where they are, he is literally next to the teleporter door. It's a one-way teleporter, so people can come through it, but he cannot open that door whatsoever. There could be people in that room, so when you teleport, you are stuck in a room, and then it's up to you as to whether you walk forward and open those doors. You will get a clear indication of when someone pushes you, because the sound is very loud, as Alex has said a few times already this broadcast. People will know if you go through the teleporter. It doesn't really matter where on the map. It is so loud. If you have your fancy schmancy headphones, you're gonna know they're there.
Yeah. But furthermore, too, it just, you mentioned going into or exiting out of it is initiated by you automatically by your agent's presence by the door. So it's not a button that you would press. It just opens up automatically. So if you go through the teleporter and stay still, the door won't open. If you move forward, it'll open. But if you go back, it actually won't open. And speaking of going back, one time I actually did get caught. I rotated from B-long, hit the teleporter, went all the way around to showers right where we are right now, and a player actually stayed back in the teleporter room anticipating the rotation, and then picked me off as soon as I came through that door. I couldn't believe it. I was stunned.
A lot of sneaky peepers around as Tim's trying to be sneaky. You can see the white line around the bomb site, so that is actually where you can plant the spike. In other games, you don't necessarily get that indication of where you can plant. He tries to get it down, but Hiko, as soon as he heard the sound, straight onto the site, takes Timthetatman down, and now it's 4-2. This one's a little bit closer, though, than the previous game. Thankfully,
Pretty
because
good
we don't
game
want to
here.
see stomps, do we?
No, we don't want to see stomps.
Or do we?
I mean, you know, it's been a while. We've been casting for, I mean, almost like 5 hours now.
But who's counting?
Stomps are fun.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you get to my age level, you know, you start to count the hours. The stakes.
53.
53. That's actually very true. 50. More 50, 52. That's what I feel like.
Hashtag
All right.
boomer.
Well, yeah. Well, someone who isn't a boomer is Aceu, who, as you have mentioned a few times, and I agree with you wholeheartedly, is someone that we need to keep an eye on when it comes to Valorant, whether it would be as a professional gamer or it would be as a content creator. This guy is going to bring just clip after clip after clip. Oh, that was a great use of the cage there from Cypher, going to secure the orb. So let's see what they decide to do here. Got to time that out, though, a little bit better next time, simply because once that goes down, you're exposed, and flying right on through, trying to blink forward, gets into the backfield here. And he hears someone around the corner. That's actually why he's going to be slowing down. Ally planting at the top of the screen. A secures the kill on Hiko. One in hookah, one playing low. Where are these guys going to be located currently? They have no vision in the backfield. Perhaps someone's going to be rotating, but everyone seems to be looking up front. It could be one player, or it could be the two as well. Cloakzy picks up himself a double. And now it's going to be down to a 1v2 here. What was looking really good before may have just taken a turn for the worse, but Aceu's trying to keep this one alive here. Lupo right in front of him. That was the first kill. He's got the Sage now. I believe this is going to be Mendo, perhaps. He's waiting around the corner. Both players sneaking, holding it down, and that's actually Cloakzy, who does not come out on top on that exchange. Tried to poke around the corner. He secures himself to win.
Just watching Aceu's point of view, I mean, his crosshair placement is very good. You can tell he's played a lot of other tactical shooters in the past. But it's how he walks close to the wall as well when he's approaching. He wants to limit the amount of angles that he can be shot from, stay tight to that wall, and then he'll quickly poke out to try and take advantage of someone not expecting him to be there. So really intelligent play from him. Very basic stuff if you have played the likes of CS, but just seeing it in action is good for people to acknowledge that if you haven't played these types of games.
Aceu with the Sheriff. This is going to be your one-shot, just decimator. Also, people did mention about this particular gun here. They're seeing the Spectre with that really cool skin. So Riot actually allowed us to be able to pick up as many skins as they had available, because there were a lot of really cool ones. And this one is probably the coolest because it's an homage to the old school Nintendo Entertainment System days, the NES. Little Duck Hunt love in there. It probably was my favorite skin, hands down, of the entire weekend that I had to play this game, because I love Duck Hunt.
They also, by using the same kind of currency, as it were, to unlock the skins, you have to unlock the agents as well. You start with, or at least we started with, a certain amount of agents, but then we unlocked them. And I imagine that when we get into the full game, there may be a situation where you only start with a select amount of agents, and then you have to choose to try and kind of level one up so that you can then unlock another agent. I don't really know how it's going to happen, but that's kind of exciting for me, because I love any game that implements any sort of like grinding system where you can unlock fun things, like not just skins, but also get agents as well. So you can be like, oh, cool, I've unlocked this agent, so now I can play him. And then other people will be like, oh, I need to unlock Breach because he's so powerful, or something like that.
Oh man.
No.
So again, as we mentioned about the teleporter, when you go through, there's no other teleporter there. You just get teleported into this room. So you can hide out in the room if you want, go back, and the doors won't open. And just as you saw right there, someone else went through the teleporter, but you only have 5 HP remaining. So that was a tough fight to win from the get-go. But yeah, that was cool.
Next chance is on Tuesday when everyone is streaming the actual game.
Here's Hiko in his plane now.
Just trying to play the game on stretch now. I only played native.
I just like that, you know, he's held true to it. I mean, he's Hiko. Why not? Why not just live your best life?
Does the plane ever change, or is it always the same one?
Well, I mean, you know, how many planes do you have, Dan?
3, actually, to be precise.
I didn't know that. I
They
didn't
are
think that
miniature
was
toy ones, but
okay. Fair. I have none. Even though I am a global icon and I am a national treasure, you know, I'm conscious of the sky.
90%.
You know,
Good.
I fly coach to support the community.
Some say the sky is the limit. Not in this game, though. There is no skybox, as far as we're aware. So
No
that
limit.
means that you can just pop your flashes over, or your abilities over, or your little poison abilities. You can fire them with Viper. And there are some really interesting angles that we've already seen demonstrated, not just in this stream, but also what I saw in the alpha as well. Like, you can bounce things off certain walls and over buildings, as Hiko is not able to survive, gets taken down. And it's going to be 5-4 now. This one definitely a tighter affair.
Yeah.
I was a bit concerned that we were going to see stomp after stomp after stomp, but it looks like the likes of Hiko, they've stepped up now.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing so far from this game. You mentioned Viper and the snake bite ability in particular, and that is again, you may have seen it a few times pop up when Viper's playing. It basically just lays down like green liquid on the floor that if you walk on, it's toxic and it will damage you. Again, it's when you can get creative about how you want to be able to place a lot of these abilities, the game is going to continue to evolve. As I was playing Viper for the first time, I had found so many cool little spots that I could bounce off of, and even like get the projectile to just land a little bit faster, so that this way it would, you know, stop a push in a particular area. As you experiment around with it, and I think a lot of people are probably going to load up like a custom game or something like that. Just run around the maps a little bit, learn the maps, learn the angles, do all that good stuff. Learning is fun. It's fundamental, as they say. And in Valorant, it's so important.
Yeah, the execution ability is just what really excites me about the game. If you are able to use some of the smoking abilities to smoke off certain areas of a site, and then someone might use the snake bite ability from a Viper to stop people from rotating accordingly to get to the site quicker. Like, there's all these things that if you use them together, then you suddenly becomes a very strong execute and a very strong push. As Hiko got a really nice snipe with the op there, and that'll be the round for them. They just someone has to actually defuse the bomb. They're just having a little discussion.
Eventually we'll get there. You know, hey, just have a conversation amongst yourselves. You only got a few seconds to do so, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. That will be the 6th round one here for Hiko and squad. They've been looking pretty good so far. Saving up. They're going to get Cloakzy as well. We'll have the revive for this next round. Losing out on the Sage early, when your strategy potentially depends on it, oh, that hurts. You lose the heal, you lose the wall, and when they have the ult ready, losing out on the ultimate ability that hurts. It really does.
You can see in my radar top.
For the most part as well, you've seen that economy-wise, like, money hasn't been too much of an issue for anyone throughout this game. They've mostly been able to get the weapons they want. Occasionally, we'll see them switch to the SMGs when they can't afford some of the more expensive assault rifles. But I would say that the SMGs are very powerful, especially with, I mean, I used a lot of Brimstone, and of course he has that ability to throw down the stim beacon, which allows him to get rapid fire. With those SMGs and rapid fire, you can rinse people. Even if they've got an assault rifle, you walk around with an SMG and you spray and pray, boy, you can have some fun. You can get some insane multi-kills because you can drop the stim. You can get the ability to fire faster. You can then walk out of the stim, and you will still have that ability for a short while. So you can walk onto site, you can spray, you have faster spray, and people aren't necessarily going to be expecting you to push that aggressively, and they probably won't think you're going to take that much damage as Hiko gets one hell of a shot onto Aceu, and he's doing some incredible stuff.
Yeah, that whole time he was hanging out by Heaven, and he kept deploying the dark cover. And as he kept doing that by Shower, it prevented that player, the Jet, to try and progress through, because you don't know like where they're going to be located there. So it was a very smart play to keep the high ground yet continuously utilize his smokes. Also, I don't think we really touched on this so much, but a lot of the abilities, so you have each character, each agent has 3 abilities, right? 2 of them you purchase in the store, 1 of them you gain as an ultimate, but another ability is one that's with you all the time, right? So in the instance of Sage, as you're seeing here, her ability that is with her all the time is her heal. You don't have to purchase it. Once you use it, then that is where the parameters change. So for some characters, if you use it, like Sage or even Omen's Dark Cover, that's on a cooldown. But in the instance of, I think it's Phoenix, if you use his flash, and you, yeah, if you use the flash and then you get a kill, you get 2 kills, then the flash would recharge. So some abilities have the benefit of being usable again because you were able to be effective with them, and then others are on a cooldown. And I think that's also where it makes Omen, for example, very, very useful, because you're actually going to have smokes quite a bit in a round.
See a wallbanging attempt here from Dizzy as well. Just trying to see if anyone is pushing through here. You can wallbang so many areas on this map. We don't know if he actually connected with anyone, but he certainly is aware of where people could be. Wall is still there. You can shoot down the wall, just in case anyone hasn't seen. There's an indication there. He shoots down the wall and also gets Hiko to boot. And they're able to win the round. 5-7 now. But yeah, that wall is really annoying from Sage, because you might 5-man rush towards an A site and then suddenly that wall comes up and you have the decision. Do we wait, or do we just spray down this wall and let everyone know we're here? And it can be so frustrating because you're just delayed, and sometimes being delayed a couple of seconds can lose you a round. And that's why it's so important to utilize these smokes, these walls or flashes, anything that can slow your opponents down is really going to help you.
It truly can be the difference maker between winning out a round outright and a good old-fashioned throw. Well, let's see now as the buy phase is concluded. And I guess to bring this back, when you're in that buy phase, whatever you do inside of those barriers actually does not make an audible sound effect to anyone outside of it. So if one was potentially closer, for example, like if I think there's like somewhere like I think it's on Haven, I want to say, where some of the barriers are a little close to one another. Yeah. You will not hear whatever it is that they're doing inside of the barrier there. So again, just kind of continue to hammer on some of the mechanics that maybe people who have seen Counter-Strike before have not necessarily or not necessarily used to. And the reason why they also do the barrier too, and here we go though, as a matter of fact, around the corner, Jordan Fisher with a triple. Nice. He's so proud of himself. He's so smug. He's dancing away. He's going in for the 4 because he knew it was coming, and that's why he got up, and that's unfair, but we'll just take it anyway. Nicely done, Jordan. But yeah, like the reason why those barriers exist is actually to try and prevent timings from being thrown off. Because Jet, for example, can just ruin timings with her blink.
Yeah, and the position she can get in and the areas that she can kind of smoke off for a little amount of time could really allow a team to execute too comfortably, I'd say. So I think the barriers were a really good idea, and I think the reason why the sound thing that you talk about is so important is because if you want to get into a position on a site, you don't want to feel like the team's going to know exactly where you are. So as long as they can't hear you, you can be comfortable in that your sneaky little spot in the corner won't be known, at least via an audio cue anyway. They probably will know it after they played the game for a few hours. You start to realize the spots that people sit in, as unfortunately Lupo was just caught with his pants down there.
Or he was caught looking at his GPS, man, just trying to watch some videos, you know, maybe catch a stream. I don't know. I was just trying to see what DrLupo would do. Or perhaps he was looking at his Texas Instruments calculator. Just try and calculate the chances that he would be able to come out and win that round. Turns out it was 0.
You'll see when his Twitch Prime was able to be given to Summit here, his new favorite streamer.
Yeah, there you go.
Looks like we got a hype train going here on Twitch Rivals. Level 3 complete.
Wow.
Keep it going. Get involved if you want some free emotes. And meanwhile, we're going to leave you guys on board with Summit for a bit. We're going to step away. We'll be right back.
I do appreciate it, guys. Thank you, dudes.
I heard him. He's behind the boxes.
I'm gonna flash.
He mollied.
There you go. Flash.
Give me a drop, dude. I hope you guys get some, dude. I hope you guys get a freaking drop.
I can flash again once that goes away.
Do it.
There you go.
He smoked up top.
He smoked it. All right, let's chill.
Oh fuck.
Oh.
Well done. Behind us. I thought we were going.
Oh fuck.
Okay,
Well, this is awkward.
it's fine.
Yeah, we're good.
Let's smoke off back hall right now, like CT.
Finally, we pick up a freaking orb.
Revealing area. Found them.
One's close right.
Trying to catch him falling back there, basically, because he knows he got caught up, right?
One's on site.
Nice. Later, Flam.
Back hall.
Nice, Hiko.
I'm out. I think there might be one on the site still.
There is.
One enemy
Dead,
remaining.
dead, dead. I got him.
Flank, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's Jordan.
Don't
He's
see
gonna
him
be fine.
spawn.
He's gonna be fine.
He said, yeah, it's Jordan. He's gonna be flanking. Yeah,
have
Jordan
Hiko.
was like
He-
watching a lot of flanking.
Droned into hookah.
Out
I'm
of
watching long.
charges.
Probably long. Short. Hookah, I mean.
Shuka.
Left side. Let's see guys.
How come you're
Who
not
wants to go
playing
for
and
ult?
watch
We can
yourself
do
play?
that.
Because the embargo lifts today, but we can't
away.
play until the 7th. We can show what we've recorded, but we can't. We can't play the actual closed beta
Get
yet.
my Vandal.
Stand more. Let's go, boys. 5 more.
I'm gonna need a drop. If you want to drop that or buy
Need
me
a
one.
drop.
Yeah, I'll drop. I'll buy one.
Thanks. Can someone get
Look,
this?
you got me.
Yeah, I
Thank
got
you.
you, bud. There you go. Let's say I'm never do anything for you.
How do the bounces work with Sova's bow?
like
So
that-
you
I like
hold
that,
left click for strength, and then
that push we're
there's
doing
2
up
little things below on the below that
side?
big bar.
I'm gonna make
you
some
right
sound over my
click
shower, see if he does the
for
same
1
thing.
bounce,
And
you
then
right click
flash on the right
you
corner
right
of the
click
door,
again
like,
for
gets
2
the entire
bounces.
room.
It'll fill those bars
Yeah,
up.
that he was blind. He was spraying in the corner.
Or
with
if you
his
don't
weapon.
if
He
you
couldn't
don't
see
fill it
shit.
up at all, you don't right click at all. You just stick it to the first surface it touches. So that one I bounce it
Anyone?
once.
Mollied it already.
I killed one.
You
Revealing
can take
area.
him. You can do it now.
That one I bounced
2.
twice.
Found them.
One more just came back towards under hookah. I think.
I'm gonna smoke this. Do you want to run the portal?
He's playing that corner.
Sure.
We're
Could be
drop.
pushing along B as well. I'm so
All right,
worried.
I'm going right now. Get close.
Holding
These smokes don't
passive.
last long.
Yeah, go.
I didn't go here. One CT.
Hello.
Or Swan.
Right side, back
I smoked
wall.
him off.
Smoked it.
They double smoked him.
Elbow. And sight.
Top running in. I'm gonna die then. Dead. Already elbow. Dead.
Nice. Sight.
Sight.
Off.
Okay, worry about flank. No one comes. Watch on the left.
The
peek,
sight
watch
player
on the left
smoked.
One enemy
In the box.
remaining.
Nice.
2v1.
Unknown. Behind. Nice. Good round.
Hold on.
Yo, good entries there. That was clean.
Take out Cypher's cameras.
The sniper
He's weak when
sounds
he's blind.
mean as fuck. Yeah, it's got a little, it's kicky. It's definitely kicky.
Person is so annoying.
The
If
Cypher,
you
yeah,
need,
he's
if you
so
need,
strong.
put up. If you need, put up.
cams
If you need, put up.
Thank you.
Shit.
You wanna go with me again?
Yep. Tim does the same thing. He just comes and any contact he just mollies. They might swing here though. If you're ready. I'm gonna post.
Get
hard
out of
play.
my way.
Walking out.
They're definitely over here. They cipher, they trap wire at the left side.
One's
Revealing
in shower.
area.
This is his slow, right?
Yeah.
Do you have res?
Okay, that's fine.
Let's work this.
Shot dart. Up there.
One's like
Not a good day to get a
spawn
different
box.
internet installed, on boys.
Shot dart.
Hopefully,
knives.
no knock me off.
Sight one. He's
Right side.
Got it. You guys are alone up there for a second.
Right around the corner right there.
Ult is ready.
Nice.
teleporter.
TP.
Teleporter summit, you got
Good
it.
kill.
Carrying it.
One Swan. Forward to Hiko.
Behind with knife. Behind with knife.
One enemy
Got him.
remaining.
Okay,
Last one. Last one.
I'm jumping out. He might be elbow already. Actually, he's gonna hold elbow fully.
Elbow.
He's elbow tag. Good job.
What internet are you getting? Oh
Three more,
man,
boys.
scary. Let's not talk about it. And internet.
Still got the spike down. I got my ult point off of that.
That means I
Puts
can
it,
afford
it
my
gives
buy.
me
Nice,
access to
nice.
the web.
Yeah.
Yo, Hiko, can you come with me?
It's your
And
shot
I want to
post,
kill this
idiot.
guy's shower.
You
It's there's so he shoots an arrow every time. I caught him off guard last time.
Electrified Dig to the
I'm going
prime.
all the way, I
Mikey,
guess.
Mike.
I actually have my ult too. If we lose this round, we should use my ult.
You got a code? Wow, Pog.
For sure then. Yeah, you get that. I have mine, so I don't need it.
And we are back. You guys absolutely blasted this hype train, level 5, and we are 470% over it there. That might be a Twitch Rivals record. You guys are pretty awesome. Enjoy the hype emotes. So we're back on board with Cloakzy here. And Gaskin, I got a question about our ARs. We ran a poll earlier of which weapon class do people think that they will enjoy the most, and rifles won by a long shot, by no surprise. There's like 4 different ARs in this game. What differentiates one from another?
So your two most expensive assault rifles are going to be the Vandal, which is like an AK-47, and the Phantom, which is a carbine. So the AK or the Vandal, that's going to be your most powerful rifle. It's going to deal 156 damage to the head from any distance. If you can headshot someone just with a one tap, you are going to be able to kill them. The Phantom, its damage differentiates from when you are slightly further away from opponents, so it will do 156 damage to the head when you're within 15 meters of them, but it will go down to 140 meters up to 140 damage up to 30 meters, then 124 up to 50 meters. So a Phantom is going to be more forgivable in terms of its spray pattern and closer to like an SMG style spray, but it's not going to have the same amount of damage from distance as a Vandal. Then you've got the Guardian, which is a semi-auto single-fire weapon. That's going to do 195 damage to the head. So if you can just pop someone from across the map, they are guaranteed they are going to get killed. And then the Bulldog, which is the cheapest assault rifle for 2,100. That is an automatic weapon, but it can be switched to burst fire when you do zoom in. To the head, that's going to do 116 damage, 35 damage to the body. So if you can hit them with a full burst and one of those bullets connects with the head, very likely you are going to get a kill. So there's all these different playstyles that you can have using different assault rifles. The Phantom probably going to favor someone who's a bit more aggressive, whereas the Vandal is going to, and probably the Guardian, going to favor those who have more pinpoint accuracy. But all in all, I'd say Vandal, Phantom, and Guardian are very much usable weapons, and the Bulldog is maybe something you'll go in a round where your economy is not quite there.
Dan Gaskin, ladies and gentlemen.
A wonderful
That's
rundown of all the weapons. I love Cloaks. I love Cloakzy just pulling up Tim's stream.
He's just so concerned about what Tim's going on. I get it. You know, you want to learn from the best player in Valorant right now, so I totally understand that.
I mean, we're running a poll right now on the Twitch Rivals extension on the left side of your screen. Is Timthetatman the best Valorant player ever? Yes, no, or I am. Currently, I am. Oh, chat, you all a bunch of
course,
liars.
I am is gonna win. I am always wins. You can't just put I am there. Hold on, I'm going into this. I'm typing in. I'm clicking yes. I've clicked yes. I've contributed to it. I'm disappointed in 29% of you that said no and 48% of you that said I am. So much disappointment across
with all this
board.
love, I'm slightly concerned that Timthetatman has given Golden Boy a little cheeky fiver under the table.
It was like, hey,
man, I'm a journalist. Kind of never doubt my professionalism. All right, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I am smiling, chat, if you're the best at Valorant. Despite not having a key. All you guys didn't have a key just a second ago, so it's crazy.
I have seen quite a lot of people tweeting that they have successfully got the drop, though, and that makes me very happy. A couple of my friends, not because of me and not because I'm commentating before anyone says it, but people that I know that also are in the gaming world have been able to get some drops, and that makes me happy.
Did you happen to toss a fiver under the table to pop a riot, dude?
Top up coin for your drop yet? That could be a song, couldn't it? We could make a couple of songs here.
That sounds like a
drop
catchy
a
one.
coin for Eurito.
They should make a TV show around that song. That sounds good.
It would be good.
Oh, man. Yeah, chat, if you're wanting to get a drop, make sure your Riot account is linked to your Twitch account. Go to your settings on your Twitch page. It'll be on the top right corner. Click your little logo. Click the settings. Go to connections. Link it to your Riot account. If you're having trouble linking it, use a different browser. Make sure your pop-ups aren't blocked. Sometimes those can get in the way. And then just sit and watch this stream. Sit and watch any of the streamers in the category. And you guys should be able to get your drops up, Astral. One of the best Rocket League players in the world in chat right now. Go give that man a follow, too, while you're at it.
One enemy remaining.
Look at that. Everyone's just doing favors for friends today. Unbelievable. And here I am, a consummate professional, just calling it down the line, the way that I see it.
Put your love faces in chat. That's what he wants.
If you guys, you know, think I'm a professional or not, you can go ahead and just type my face. I don't care.
Number 7.
There
we go. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. It's 2v1 at the moment.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, 2v1. They're going to be going up against a breach there. And that was DrLupo trapped in hookah. He had to try and get that kill on the player that was pushing him out from the teleporter in mid. But again, right, when you're getting pressured through the wall like that, even though his shot's going through the wall, it doesn't matter. It's still going to do some damage to you. And if it hits you, it's still going to throw you off. So it was a tough fight there, without a doubt. So far, so good, though, in this matchup. 10-10, exactly what you want to see. Some close games we've had here today, gentlemen. Besides that one game, we've had some close matchups.
Yeah, most of them have been evenly matched. And you saw that, you would have seen throughout the entirety of these streams, the knives that people hold. And of course, you run faster when you have your knife out. But I know a lot of you people, you love your skins and you love the fact that you can get knives that look very sexy, as it were. And you might be thinking, how achievable, how easy is it for me to get a knife? Well, the knives, in terms of like comparison to how expensive they are to the other skins with the in-game currency, I'd say they're relatively achievable. You can even get bundles from what I've seen to where you can get the skin. So that's pretty cool. And I think the knives should be somewhat easily achievable for you all to have a nice little knife to run around with. Of course, unless anything changes going into beta or into the original game. I can only say what happened in alpha.
Yeah, keep in mind what we witnessed in the alpha was very different and could actually change dramatically from what you guys end up experiencing in the beta when that opens up April 7th. For now, though, as we take a look at Dizzy's perspective, and also I do want to make a note, by the way, I know that we are, you know, in some instances we could be a little bit behind there. We're keeping up with as much of it as we can. So the action as well continues to get hot and heavy here. A site, I think, is going to be wide open, and that's going to leave Jordan Fisher. Have to creep around the side here in mid. Does get called out, so they know exactly where he's going to be. Timthetatman now. Maybe he'll be the hero that they all deserve. If Jordan Fisher can stay alive, not get pushed, he has to watch out for two different angles as Tim starts to make his advancement toward the site. And now finally starting to run into someone. So they know that the two players that are left alive are not going to be rolling together. And they have all 5 up as well.
And they have retreated. They have said, this is not achievable. We've run out of time already. We're not going to be able to get onto the site, so we're going to save our weapons. 45 seconds is how long the spike takes to detonate after planting. So that's something you've got to remember. There is no visual cue for how long the spike has been planted, so you have to remember that yourself. It's somewhere that if and I guess when this becomes an incredible esports title, coaches will be very important to ensure that people are pushing onto the site and they know how long is left for you to defuse that spike.
I can buy a gun.
The writing is certainly on the wall, man. I'll tell you that much.
Someone asked in chat, how do I know if my account got whitelisted? Up in the top right corner, there's 3 icons. There's the Twitch Prime icon, there's the bell for notifications, and then there's the whisper icon for messaging people on Twitch. It's that middle one, the bell. Once there'll be a notification on it. You click on it, and it'll say, hey, you've been whitelisted, or something to that effect. And then all you gotta do is download the game and just be ready to play it on Tuesday, April 7th.
Yeah, maybe. No, he's there with an op.
Just that simple, Forehead.
He's there. Hit one.
Just get whitelisted, Forehead.
Just get whitelisted, Forehead. That's it.
Oh, he's got
Don't do
one.
anything else. Just get whitelisted. Easy. Easy peasy. Oh, Hiko. I thought he actually had a little bit of a jump on him there. Well done by Jordan. Keeping that aim steady.
Just such whiffies. Just such
Here's
whiffies.
Summit, though.
Oh my god, the whiffies.
Find someone over at the back spawn. High metal. Oh, finally he's going to get picked off there. Who's that? You asked? Timthetatman.
I think there's like 2 more hours.
Gets himself another.
Probably after
Yes,
this,
chat, he's
we'll
still
watch
going
the-
with this Timthetatman hype train.
the agents.
We don't know why either, but
we'll
we'll allow him
talk
to
after
continue.
this game,
Because
Adam,
to be
Yeah.
fair, Tim has
I don't
played
mind.
pretty well. He has
love
played
Tim.
pretty well.
Ooh, love that play. Love that play. Oh, that was so sick there. That was so sick. Mendo using the updraft there from Jet to get up on top of the wall that was placed there by the Sage. Only netted himself 1 kill, but if he had someone else to try and create that distraction for him, just anyone around there to give him the help he would have needed, it actually could have caught them off guard and potentially even got himself the round win.
Yeah, that's where Jet and Omen can be really powerful and where you can catch Sages off guard. Because I think a lot of people who play Sage, when they put that wall down, they think they're almost untouchable because someone's going to have to shoot through or break through and they'll get the audio cue. But Jet and Omen can get on top of those walls. Omen will give an audio cue as well, and he doesn't have the ability to do it as fast as Jet, so Jet is certainly better at doing it with the updraft. But 11-11 now, and we're heading towards a possible overtime as Hiko is going to be using the ultimate to go behind the enemy lines here. They would have got the audio cue and they would have seen that he was going to be pushing in, but he's able to get a couple of sprays through, does get caught in a trap, but he's going to utilize now these shadows to just smoke off certain areas, blind his enemies, and get that spike planted with the team.
Yeah, that was just great use of the utility that is provided by Omen as he charges on through and gets a double there. Just blasts those two. And that is going to be the 12th round win. Match point now potentially for this team. Hiko working hard to get this dub.
12-11. and we will go
You gotta
to
drop it. Thank you so
overtime
much, Hiko.
if
Yeah, you're welcome.
the score
Thanks for watching.
goes to 12-12. And then it's just one round, one single round that is played. It doesn't go into any sort of like 3 rounds on one side or 3 on the other. It's just one round, and whoever wins that will take the game. Well, certainly that's how the matchmaking worked in the
Hey, thanks.
alpha.
Found him. One more, same spot. 2 more.
2 more.
One more.
I can hear a little bit of communication between the teams as well. But look at the aggression from Flom there, just pushing out. Actually, several players just getting aggressive on this B side.
Nice.
And it's something you very rarely
Do
see.
this, chat.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised about that. I think maybe because they were playing so passive on B the entire time, and on top of which they know that they won't be able to get flanked around because of the Omen. That would not have worked out, but it doesn't matter. They get the victory. GG. Well done by Hiko and company to pick up the dub. Summit, Hiko, Mendo, Cloak, and Lupo get the win.
I think this is just showing it's broken to have an O on the end of your name with the Hiko, the Mendo, the Lupo. These guys, they're all live on